Hello, everyone. My name is Mario, and welcome to the CBA podcast from the Center for Business Analytics at St. Mary's University of Minnesota. We work to connect students, faculty, and industry through data analytics, technology, and innovation. We aim to highlight stories and insights that help people lead with purpose, think ethically, and use data to create a positive impact in their communities. The CBA podcast is a short and energizing conversation where ideas meet action and where data and technology meet humanity. In each episode, we feature industry leaders, innovators, and alumni who share how analytics, AI, and modern technology shape the way they learn, work, and lead. Today, I'm excited to welcome Dixon Irwin, a St. Mary's alumnus who double majored in business intelligence and analytics and finance. Dixon serves as a data specialist at Red Wing Credit Union, where he transforms complex financial data into insights that support business strategy, member services, and community impact. Dixon, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
All right, let's get started. To begin, can you share with us, Dixon, a little bit more about your role at Red Wing Credit Union and what is something exciting you've been working on recently?
Yeah, sure. I've been at Red Wing Credit Union for about 6 years now. Out of school or junior year, I interned here for a couple months and then went back for my senior year at St. Mary's. And then out of school, I went to work for 3M up at their
Hmm.
corporate headquarters in Maplewood. Worked there under the personal safety division for a couple months as well. And once I finished out my internship there, I transitioned to Red Wing Credit Union full time. And here I've been here 6 years now, doing everything from analytical reporting in Power BI um, and reporting tools to working on creating some AI agents for our back end staff to use and utilize that AI world and get it functioning and working with Red Wing Credit Union.
That's very interesting. Just, I mean, Red Wing Credit Union is a very community-centric uh, institution, is it?
Very, very much so. And so the world is ever changing, especially in our field, and AI is here, and we need to be able to adapt and utilize it to not only help the business, but more importantly, help our community and what we do in our processes and utilize and implement AI and how we can improve that community even further as we progress into this world of AI.
Well, you guys, in my opinion, you guys are doing a great work, just being at the cutting edge, even for a smaller institution, and that's
Mhm.
for sure the way to go. And I admire that. So props to you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So today's topic, data analytics. Um, Now mainly focusing on the impact in community-centric financial services. Thanks to Dixon's experience, we will explore this topic a little bit more. And let's start. In your experience, Dixon, how is data analytics changing the way decision-making happens in financial services, especially in your case, which Red Wing Credit Union is a very local and community-focused one. So, just maybe if you can help us just share a little bit of your experience and also compare to other information or data you know from other bigger financial services.
Yeah, yeah. Being more very community based. Red Wing Credit Union started off as Red Wing Shoe Employee Credit Union, and now we're a community charter. So a lot of our staff knows our membership very, very closely. We have a lot of foot traffic. People like to come in and transact in person, which is out of the norm compared to some bigger institutions that we've seen. So a lot of our staff and we know that membership, and so typically sometimes you could assume that we get it's like, oh, we know our membership leans this way or wants this, but until you put that data in front of you and actually get a visual of the member, it can open up some eyes. I know when I first started here, like I said, we there was a picture of what our member was, and until we started implementing kind of our data journey, that the real picture of the member started to show up.
Hmm.
And now that we've unlocked, we've built our data warehouse here from scratch and have been able to uncover insights that we may not have seen before about our members and our members' journey um, in their financial journey. So just data here has been very important in truly unlocking what we see as our membership in our community, and then have been able to turn that into better serving that community in looking at the data and actually having that analytical insight to back it.
Absolutely. And I mean, at the end of the day, the main thing everyone should focus on in business, in any type of business, is just the customers, the person. That's the most, that's the 80% business is about. It's not about the money. It's not about the actual thing you're providing. It's about who you're providing it to and how you're
Correct.
doing that and how you're solving those problems. So it's very good that you have this opportunity to, relate to such a very local and close community and serve it in these financial service. It's very to tailor them, and I'm guessing the data you gather from them is very accurate and helps you to um, make connections better and actually enact with that data very quickly. So this perfectly segues to our next question, which is, can you share an example of a meaningful way that data shaped operations with member engagement at Red Wing Credit Union? So maybe just give us an example of an insight you got and how that
Yeah.
helped you to better serve your customers.
Yeah. Over the last year, we've been plugging in, you could say, new data sources to our warehouse and been able to gain some insights and analysis off of just how the way the member engages with us. And so whether or not it's the number of transactions, whether they interact with us purely on mobile devices or online banking, or are coming into the branch every day, drive through, those types of things, and then been able to compile that in an analysis to create an overall kind of engagement score.
Mm.
And then been able to put those engagement scores from month to month into a matrix that's this member was medium high engagement, now they're medium
Mm.
low, and kind of see it's like, well, why is that? And use that to either reach out, be proactive in engaging with that member again and seeing what we can do to help them. Was it just, oh, they had a loan payoff and nothing came in again, or um, maybe there's um, money moving in ways we haven't seen before. Did their direct deposit change, or we're no longer
Mm.
receiving their direct deposit, or maybe we're now starting to receive their direct deposit and that
Mm.
engagement score goes up. So things like that can get very analytical, but can allow us to gain a full picture of our membership and what they're doing to engage with us.
No, totally. It's very important to also, especially in the size of a financial institution you guys are, to acknowledge how even the presence of the person, coming in, you say you receive a lot of people in person instead of just like online and whatnot. You see them coming in, you get to see the way they interact with you, you get to see them coming in or stopping coming in, and then you can actually make those connections even better. I think it's a great opportunity to learn data and assimilate it into yourself and your profession. So that's very good for you. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
So Dixon, you've been telling us a lot about the customer service and how you're relating to data analytics and everything in your work on a day-to-day basis. Something that is bugging me and just I find quite curious is how do you make sure that analytics supports both the efficiency and community impact and centering it to the people rather than focusing only on the number side, because it's very
Yeah.
easy to just use data to increase your profits, being more efficient, and then just kind of leaving aside people. And in your case, it's just of utmost important to keep the people and keep the engagement.
Yeah, I think being a credit union specifically helps with that. We have members, we don't have customers. So the members
Mm.
own the credit union. They have a vote and they get a say in what goes on here. And so I think just having that at the forefront really aims to push that we are very member based. Everything we do is for the member. And yes, it can sometimes be tough to get tied up in it's like, oh, how can we drive loan growth or how can we increase deposits? And I think in terms of efficiency, I think having more streamlined reporting, more um, efficient processes and doing our monthly tasks or our quarterly tasks frees up time to put forward strategies um, that keep that member at that forefront and that focus. So being able to streamline those processes and give people accurate reporting frees up time to answer more phone calls and help
Mhm.
troubleshoot for members and just be more engaging with that. Because if we're spending too much time compiling reports or um, or stuck on certain processes, then that's less time that we have to engage with our membership. And so being able to streamline that and really get back to the members as quickly as possible is what keeps me going and what I can contribute to our frontline staff.
Totally. And this is something we can see as a pattern in many of the experiences we've been hearing from in this podcast and in many other conversations that I personally have had with professionals in the data analytics world. And data analytics, time and time again, proves to be a tool that augments whatever service, whatever product you're giving to customers, or in your case, to your members. So it's not just about like jumping from one side to another and saying, okay, we have community engagement, and then now we're going to use data analytics to focus more on how we can profit better. But instead, having the perspective of using data analytics to augment what we're doing to better serve our members is just, yeah, a great way to look at it. So thank
Yeah.
you for that again, Dixon. Very insightful. Dixon, you mentioned 3M towards the beginning of this podcast. For students and professionals or anybody starting in the data analytics world that are here listening to this podcast, could you tell us more about your career choice? I'm very interested in knowing how you pivoted from 3M, such a big company here in Minnesota and around the whole nation and even the world, but and then landed in a Red Wing credit union. I'm very interested in that little pivot.
Yeah, yeah. So out of college, I was able to intern at 3M up at their corporate headquarters. Got to work under Chris Ebert, another St. Mary's alum who I enjoyed working with, learned a lot from, and still run into him from time to time. I know he still takes pictures of athletic events at St. Mary's, um, uh, but yeah, so I interned for a couple months in one of their internship programs and was able to work in as a business analyst in their personal safety division. And unfortunately, they only hire so many interns after that, and I wasn't one of them. Um, but from there, I learned a ton. And after my internship the summer before at Red Wing Credit Union, I was able to make my way back home and work full time here in Red Wing. And apart from the uh, the transition from a bigger kind of more um, corporate environment to Red Wing Credit Union, I'd say if the tools are in place, the analytical work is pretty similar. There's
Mm,
similar analysis that can be done, whether it's a big corporation at 3M to a small hometown credit union here in Red Wing. Similar skills, um, similar kind of qualities or um, needed in an analyst, but
mm,
just that transition to kind of a more formal corporate environment to, um, I would say not as formal. I'd say we're formal, but not as formal here in Red Wing, but just that the definitely a interesting transition in terms of kind of a big world who's um, working as part of a team, an analytical team, to now kind of
mm.
being the only analytics person here has definitely been a transition. Um, but I'd say the biggest takeaway was that when it all boils down to it, the analytical skills are the same whether you're a team of one or a team of eight. And definitely learning how to work solo versus working a team, or as I am solo here now, I have a bunch of peers in the credit union world that I can reach out to on a
Mm.
daily and kind of recreate that teams in a sense um and kind of work out. So it's definitely been a huge learning curve and learning experience going from a bigger company to a smaller one, but um, all part of the plan, and it's definitely been a huge growth moment for me. So
That's great. And it sounds to me like, again, this is a different opportunity, right? This is a different contextual in different contexts in the profession of data analytics, where it allows you to be very involved in the whole process, right? As you
yeah,
say, you have like the solo kind of department of the data analytics at Red Wing, and it allows you to understand and kind of own everything, right? Whereas if you
yeah,
were in a bigger corporation, sometimes you're like very departmentalized, if it makes sense, very like separated into a specific little section, and sometimes that may be kind of like hard to break away or break out of that. So
yeah,
it sounds to me like it's a great opportunity.
for sure. And I just one more thing to kind of add to that is I mentioned kind of what I'm doing currently. Being here allows me to work anywhere from Power BI reports to writing SQL to
Mm.
creating AI agents that I could use as an analyst as well. So just to have that wider range of quote unquote freedom to
Mm.
do anything and everything kind of under that analytical umbrella has been really fun.
Looking ahead a little bit, what trends or innovations in finance and analytics do you think small and mid-sized institutions should pay attention to in the coming years?
Yeah, the couple things I kind of that came to mind was just tech and AI. I think even if for small and mid-sized institutions, that is going to be the big thing. If you can do some form of that, or just being able to wrap your head around what it is, because it is so vast, it's coming. It's here to stay. And I think being able to at least adapt or adopt some form of new technology or
Mm.
an AI process in some way will just at least help understand what it's capable of, and then maybe help progress in the future. And I think members and potential members, for us anyway, will always be looking for the latest and greatest in terms of tech and financial capabilities. And so being able to stay kind of on the forefront of
Mm.
offering those opportunities to members will help us.
All right, Dixon, thank you so much for sharing your experience and insight with us. Your work shows how analytics can support responsible decision making and how it strengthens financial services and meaningful community impact. Again, thank you everyone for listening. These stories are at the heart of the CVA's mission to help people learn, grow, and lead with purpose in a rapidly changing world. Again, you got to remain adaptable. For one final little comment, Dixon, can you please help us with a short and practical piece of advice you would offer listeners who want to strengthen their decision making or grow in their careers using data?
Yeah, and not to steal your word there, but I did have one written down. And it was be adaptable. I think being able to learn on the go and learn new skills is huge, especially in this industry. I'd say 6 years ago when I graduated, and from when I started the BI program at St. Mary's, there was rarely any talk about AI being at the forefront of this world. And there were talks, but it wasn't streamlined as it is today. And 5 years later, only 5 years, 6 years later, that's the forefront. That's where the industry's headed. So just being able to learn and adapt to the new technology that's out there, be a sponge um, and be able to adapt. Because who knows, 6 years, 5 years from now, who knows what's going to be the new tech leading the industry.
That's it. You said it. Be a sponge, absorb, listen, and just be able to mold again. Be
Yeah.
a sponge, my friend. No, Dixon, thank you again. And thank you everyone for listening. We hope you join us for our next episode of the CBA podcast. Have a nice rest of your day.
Thank you.